The Trump campaign is still going around making claims that there is widespread voter fraud in this election. And as recently as a couple of days ago, while ripping into the bipartisan COVID relief bill, Trump even tried to make the case that the next administration could be his.
And to send me a suitable bill, or else the next administration will have to deliver a COVID relief package, and maybe that administration will be me.
So he is still doing whatever he can to keep up the projection that he will be the President of the United States on January 20th. And the case he keeps making for himself hinges on one thing, that is, that this election is rigged. But the reality on the ground is a little different than what he projects.
There's a lot of deference being given by Republicans in Washington, D.C. to the Trump campaign's legal efforts. So let's take a look at them, because while the president can lie on Twitter, judges need facts. They need evidence. Trump claimed, for example, that Republican election observers were banned from being present in the Philadelphia Convention Center for vote counting. That's a lie.
And this channel, still regularly gets comments from people arguing that there is evidence of voter fraud as Trump alleges. And the evidence is very slowly piling up, not in favor of Trump, but actually in the opposite direction. The first case involved a Florida GOP attorney named Bill Price, who asked people to move to Georgia and vote in the Senate runoffs. Here he is on tape asking people to commit fraud.
Have to do whatever it takes, and if that means changing your address for the next 2 months, so be it. I'm doing that. I'm moving to Georgia.
After the video went viral, an investigation by Georgia officials revealed that this attorney had indeed registered in Georgia soon after making that video statement in public, and he was caught with a signed affidavit in which he declared that he can vote in the state of Georgia. Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger is investigating the case, and with the amount of evidence that he has on his table, it will only be a matter of time before this case results in a clear-cut verdict from a court in Georgia. So the first case where we have evidence that can prove voter fraud or the intention to commit voter fraud came from none other than the GOP side, or people who wanted the GOP to win. Now there is a second case with a boatload of evidence that can prove that the voter fraud was committed, and this time too it was not from the Biden side, but the fraud was committed by a Trump supporter. Remember how the Trump campaign went on and on about dead people voting? That was one of their main theories before they pivoted into software that switches vote for Biden. On November 11th, the Trump campaign released these names as evidence of how dead people voted in this election. And this page is still up on the Trump campaign website. It will be taken down soon as the case, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, gets hot over the course of next 1 month. But I have downloaded the entire page just to make sure that our future generations have a record of what went on in this year's election. So on November 11th, the Trump campaign releases a list of names as evidence that people who are dead voted in this election. And it was a striking information which indeed took a lot of us by surprise. But one question that kept bothering me, how did the Trump campaign find these anomalies? It will be like finding a needle in the haystack, isn't it? But somehow they kept finding these needles from the haystack. Now it is becoming clearer how that was possible. Elizabeth J. Bartman, an 83-year-old who died in Pennsylvania long before this election, was one of those needles that the Trump campaign presented to us, and what the Trump campaign said was true. Kudos to their investigative chops for finding that a fraud was committed. But the person who allegedly committed that fraud was Bruce Bartman, the 70-year-old son of Elizabeth Bartman. Here is what the district attorney had to say about this case. Voter records show that on August 20th, Mr. Bartman used the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania's online voter registration portal to register both his deceased mother, Elizabeth Bartman, and his deceased mother-in-law, Elizabeth Wayman, who died in 2019. Mr. Bartman is a registered Republican, and he illegally registered both deceased individuals as Republican voters. Mr. Bartman subsequently sent an online request for an absentee ballot for his deceased mother, which was received by the Delaware County Bureau of Elections on October 14, 2020. The Bureau of Elections sent an absentee ballot to the deceased Mrs. Bartman on October 17th. October 28th, the Bureau of Elections received and recorded the absentee ballot for the deceased. Mr. Botman and the vote it contained was counted in the tally for the November 3rd election. Mr. Botman has admitted that he is the person who registered his deceased relatives as voters on August 20th and subsequently requested, filled out, and sent in the absentee ballot for his deceased mother with the intention for the vote on that ballot to be counted in the vote totals for the 2020 general election. Mr. Botman explained that he cast a vote in the name of his deceased mother to re-elect President Donald J. Trump. And the last sentence is the most important one. Mr. Botman explained that he cast a vote in the name of his deceased mother to re-elect President Donald J. Trump. So we have two cases, and I have also given you the evidence for both of them. In the Florida to Georgia attorney case, we have the video evidence, and in the second case, Mr. Botman has told the attorney, the district attorney, that he cast the vote in the name of his deceased mother to re-elect Donald Trump. The Trump campaign and their allies have filed 60 lawsuits across the country, and all of them, except for one, were either dropped or were dismissed by the court for lack of evidence. Now we have two cases that looks like an open and shut case to me, where we have two people, one getting caught as he was planning to commit voter fraud and another one committing voter fraud, and both acts were committed in favor of the GOP. So these are two cases which I have seen the data on. God knows how many other cases are being pursued by local officials. If you have seen any of them, please hit me up. I would like to keep a catalog of everything that this current version of the GOP and its allies and its supporters have done in the name of winning the last election. Thanks for watching. If you like my work, please subscribe and stay in touch. And one more thing, if someone asks for evidence of voter fraud, please send them the link to this video. Thank you.